Hey everyone, we are working our bis and tris today, and then we have a 4-minute plank finisher. Before I dive into that, don't forget to subscribe and comment below if you have any questions or your thoughts on the video. So I have my 8-pound and 5-pound weights, and that's all we're going to use. If you only have 2s or 3s, you're fine, because we're still working that muscle group and we're going to end up pretty much burning them out. So we have 4 exercises, 4 rounds, and 4 minutes of the planks that we'll do at the end. But in between each of the bi and tris, we're going to do 10 push-ups. So we're going to just keep that circuit going. So we end up having 5, but the push-ups is just a bonus in between each set. So we're going to start with hammer curls. You can do them like at the same time, or you could do individuals. So the higher the weight, I find that I'm having to actually do individual ones as opposed to like double. But so that'll be, we'll do 15 of all of these. So everything will be a 15. So we'll do 15, and I'll do the first round with you guys, and then we will do our other 3 separately. Rocking out to music, choice, right? So when I do these, I do a full extension down and come up to where the tops of the weight is almost tapping my shoulders. So full extension down, bringing it up. Yeah, I completely lost count, so hope one of you guys is counting. I'll just do a couple more. But that full extension is actually going to be getting that whole entire muscle. So next is dips. So in my case, I don't have a bench or even a chair out here, so we're gonna do a dip, legs out, and then we're gonna hold ourselves up, and we're gonna do dips like this. So, and this can be considered a little bit more challenging because you're having to hold yourself up. But yeah, grab a chair. I just don't have one yet, or a bench, I should say. But a chair will work. And I'm still coming down, tapping the bum on the ground and pushing up. That's just kind of their quick movements. And then letting that tricep do the work. So there's 15 there. And then we have curls, classic bicep curls. So in this case, you can do them like this, right? Full extension down, bringing up. Or if you want an added challenge, you hold one at a right angle like this, elbow right nice and hugging your rib cage, and then a full extension up and down. And then you can switch and do the other one. What you're gonna find is it's gonna burn out because you're still engaging the one bicep that's not doing the work. In this case, you can actually drop down to a lower weight because we're not even giving the each arm a rest in between them. So 15 on each side if you wanna do this challenge within the bicep classic curl. And again, elbows nice and tight to the body. Once we get through that one, we drop it and then do the other side. And full range of motion. We want to work the whole entire bicep. A lot of times we'll see people just like here, and you're working it, but you want to really get from here to here. So it's important what that full extension does. So we're going up, down. Again, I'm losing count, but we want to stick to 15 on all of them. Eventually I'll get a clock in here, and I can even just do it to seconds. And figure like 20 seconds each second we're curling them up. So I know I did not a full set on this side, but higher one. And if you need to drop down, drop down. It's so important, like I said in my last video, it's better to have the form on point than it is to get in that higher number. And you can always build up to the higher number. So give yourself, 8. If you feel successful there, just bump it up to 10. And if you find in a couple weeks you can hit that 15, you've built those muscles. And then you'll still be able to engage that motion correctly without having an incorrect form. So, all right, so we're gonna do, when we're standing in this guy, you need to sit, that's fine too, whatever supports. A lot of times when I do overhead extensions or tricep extensions, the gym have heavier weight than this. So give you a side view here. You want basically go straight up and just hold your elbows into place and drop down. So we want to keep that almost like something's holding your elbow from pushing forward or going too far back. So up here, we're doing 15 of these. And then just really engage. Like sometimes I'm not feeling that muscle doing the work right away. So I work a little bit harder to actually feel that muscle do the work. And of course, when you're fresh in your first round, it's those third and fourth rounds that remind you, oh yeah, there's the muscle. But yeah, keep pushing that up. And again, I always tell people, core tight. So engage that core, bring it in while you're doing all of your workouts. And I'm gonna do 5 more here. And 5. All right. So now, and I realized I didn't do, no, we're doing push-ups afterwards. I just was like, oh no, I forgot the push-ups, but no, we haven't even completed the first round yet. Phew, that would be a lot of push-ups, come to think of it. Okay, so now we're gonna do wide curls. So when I work a muscle group, like I mentioned in my glute video, when we talked about all sides, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But I like to work all directions of the muscle. And then even just with the hammer curls, you just get a different burn in the front. Right now we're gonna do wide. So before I grab my weights, remember keeping that elbow back of the arm where your triceps are pretty much to the rib cage. That way you can get good support. I'm grabbing my 8s here. We'll see how I struggle with these, because these are harder. This angle is definitely more challenging. So although I mentioned 15, again, listen to the body. 10 if you need to, 8 if you need to. You can always work your way up. Or drop down. If you want to hit the full 15, drop down in your weights. All right, so elbows hugging, and then full curl up and come down. It's good to tighten that core up. I'm gonna do 15 of these. So another tip is to breathe. A lot of times we hold our breath, just pushing through them, but we do need that oxygen. And you'll see it's targeting the bicep muscle completely differently. A couple more. Again, I lost count. But I definitely burned out, and then I did a couple more. So that's kind of my personal challenge. If I lose count or I just don't feel like counting, I'm just going off of feeling, I'll do them and then do another few more because it's burning. And then I like challenge myself even in those extra reps. So now I'm dropping down to my 5s, and we're gonna do kickbacks for triceps. So elbows, again, rib cage, and I do a little bit bent over, keeping that core tight, and then extend. So we're not coming all the way here. We're like right, semi-right angle and kicking back. And then we do 15 of those. Make sure I'm like paying attention here to my neck. Sometimes you do crunch up here as it gets, that weights get heavier. You tend to want to like bring up those shoulders, which then works in traps, which we talked about in my other my shoulder workout, where you gotta just remind yourself, relax and drop those shoulders down and let the muscle that you're working do the work. So we're kicking those back. I'm gonna do 5 more here. And 5. All right. So for the 4 exercises, I am gonna have it listed in my about section under the video, so you can revisit that because I'll actually have them there. So now we're gonna do push-ups. So you can do, there's 3 different types of push-ups you can do. Well, 2 different ones, but then you can drop your knees, which make it a 3rd. So if we are going to do a classic push-up, you can do a wider hand stance where you're coming in and you're working more of the chest area and coming down, or you can hug it a little tighter in, more shoulder width apart, and doing push-ups. And that's going to work your triceps. And again, either of those can be done with a dropped knee, so coming down and up, or wide, dropping down, coming up. So I'm actually not very good at the tricep one. I have never like made that a goal to be better at, so I just always do a wider press down. But today I'm going to do, my goal is to do 5 of the regular, back up here on my mat. 5 of a tricep one, since we are working triceps. And if I have to drop my knees, I'm going to drop my knees. But my goal is to hit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely a challenge, so I don't want to get out of form, hurt my lower back by dropping down. I'm actually going to drop the knees to support the other 5 of these. All right, so we definitely know what muscle group I need, or what type of push-up I need to work on. So, so there we are. Recap really quick. You have 3 more rounds of this guy, but we also are I am gonna do the plank finisher with you. So we have hammer curls for the biceps, and then we have classic curls, and then we have wide. And then in between, obviously we have the sets where we're working the opposite. So we're gonna do, oh yeah, I had it in order for the dips. So 15 of these guys. And then overhead tricep extension. And then those kickbacks. So that's those 4 exercises. Planks, plank finisher, 4 minutes. I wrote it down on my cheat sheet here because we have 60 seconds of a full plank. And what a full plank means is you're actually up here in your plank. And then that's for 60 seconds. And then you have a elbow plank for 30. So you drop down there. And then we have side plank. So you can do a side plank with elbow, or you can do side plank, full side plank right here. And that's on one side, and then you will switch 60 seconds over here, and either do full or elbow. And that's the 60. And then our last 30 seconds, back down to elbow. So, that is what I have. I'm gonna put my cheat sheet up on, like I said, full workout in my comment section, or above that in the about. But yeah, 4 rounds, which means push-ups in between. And then we have final with the plank. So it is a power-packed 30-minute workout, and you are going to feel it. So thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, and until we work out again. Bye.